Greetings, one and all. It is I, Mr. J, welcoming you to yet another, what I'm sure will be an informative and tragic evening of quiz-based content on lovewrestling.ca. Yes, that's right. It is time. It is now time for yet another edition of Quizplex. I must inform you all that I am contractually obligated to be here. I do not care who wins. I do not care who loses. Because in my humble, let's be honest, not so humble opinion, I know all these answers. And you should too. So, why bother? But isn't it funny to watch people get things wrong? That's why I'm here. And that's probably why you're here too. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for your main event. That's right. It's time. It's time. It's Quizplex time. With your host, Zach Ralph.
The ego of Mr. J never ceases to get a pop out of me. Welcome to the last Thursday of the month, which means it can only be one thing, Quizplex. But not only is it Quizplex on Love Wrestling, it is also the championship edition. We are welcoming back all of our past champions. January's champion, Laurence, the first ever Quizplex champion, an accolade that will never be able to be taken from him. We've got Canadian Goose. We've recently welcomed Canadian Goose to the Love Wrestling family, but I want everyone to understand that we're still gonna be playing it fair. We're not gonna be throwing him softballs. You don't have to worry, right, Moose? Smile and nod, buddy. Smile and nod, please. You're putting me on the spot here. And last but not least, Rhys On Wrestling. Again, last time he was with us, there's a bit of like a daylight savings time anomaly where the other side of the world would kind of like wouldn't be pushed back just yet. But now you're joining us at 2:00 right in the middle of the morning. So, sir, thank you so much for joining us. Friends, how are you doing this evening? Let's start with Laurence. I should probably do a roll call.
Yeah. Silence. I'm good, huh?
Yeah. How did you spend your pro wrestling tees earnings?
You bought a CWO
drugs.
shirt.
Drugs. I didn't know I don't think they sell that at PWTs. I don't know where you got that from, but maybe we should do a little investigation.
Not how that works.
Goose, I'm imagining you spent your prize money on your own merch, haven't you?
Yeah, I actually bought this shirt right here, the one I'm wearing. So,
it is a mighty fine garment, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, damn straight. Go to Pro Wrestling Tees, search Canadian Goose, get one for yourself.
And Rhys, what did you pick up with your Pro Wrestling Tees earnings?
Well, I might need to talk to Spencer after the show. I don't think I don't think I received it just yet, but I am. That Canadian Goose T-shirt looks pretty good. I think that would suit me.
Yeah,
well, you know what?
Definitely.
Now's a good time as any to introduce the other game that is happening this evening. We're encouraging participants at home to play. We can play as well, and this is a drinking game. Whenever Mr. Spencer pops in to talk to us, we take a drink. So, Spencer, pop in and explain yourself to Rhys, please.
I think I've earned that because, to be quite honest with you, I might have just misspelled an email I thought I had, and I will play my classic but lovable line of if it wasn't for accidents, I wouldn't be alive. So, Rhys, if it wasn't for a screw-up, we wouldn't be hosting this. So if I screwed up, I do apologize. However, we could maybe just add it to your next potential gift card you would be receiving. Yes, friends, of course, on tonight's edition of Quizplex, our competitors are playing for not just one, but two gift cards to Pro Wrestling Tees totaling $50. Let's win some cash tonight, gentlemen, and good luck to all of you. Zach, do you want to run through the rules for us?
Yeah, let's run through the rules before we start taking a trip down memory lane. So yeah, let's do a quick summary. Each player will have the opportunity to answer 2 questions from a given category. Actually, axe that, no more given categories, more on that in a second. You're going to have 10 seconds to verbally answer each of your questions. If you get the first question right, we'll move on to your second question immediately. While the active player is answering their questions, the other players may also answer the same question on their whiteboards or paper. If the active player gets their question wrong, the other contestants can be awarded half points if the answer on their whiteboard is correct. This is all stuff you guys know. Quick little rundown, of course, but also, as I mentioned, we have done away with categories for this particular edition of Quizplex. We've kind of gauged the level of difficulty per questions. There's still going to be a bit mixed bag. We got wrestling, straight up wrestling. We got wrestling and music, wrestling and film, but it's really more of a mixed bag this time, and I think it's going to invigorate the energy of the show. Now, before we jump into round one,
calling it in the ring, boys.
We're calling it in the ring. There's the idiom I was looking for, and then there's the word I was looking for, which was idiom. But yes, a quick trip down memory lane. Let's revisit January's game, the one where Laurence picked up his first Quizplex W, and see what happened a few months back. What wrestler showed up on the Drew Carey show in the episode Kate Dates a Wrestler, playing the role of the disciplinarian? And here's a hint. He brought the real WWF Intercontinental Championship with him.
Oh my god. Drew Carey show. I'm trying to date that. That was 90s, right?
That's like deep in the blue eyeshadow phase.
Man. God, I can't think of the only person I could think of that would have the IC title in the Oh God, I don't know this one.
I don't either. I am drawing a blank.
I forgot the Drew Carey show existed.
I gotta that's been your 10 seconds there. So I'm sorry, Gabe. We're gonna have to move on to the next players. Laurence, Mel, do you have an answer for this one?
I got nothing,
Wild
and
guess.
I wasn't even watching this show.
Well, Laurence's wild
gosh.
guess gets it. The answer is
Yes, I actually love the Drew Carey show. And I remember Triple H did like a bunch of sitcoms. Like he did Bernie Mac too.
You know, I just couldn't get past the vampire Pomeranian, though, so that's what I'm kind of
Josh in the comments with throwing shade at Gabe. For
Wow,
that.
that turned on him.
Gabe Nation is turning on Gabe. Back. Second question.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, well, Josh took it back. It says King Gabe.
Make up your mind.
No pressure, Dave. No pressure.
Making signals.
Josh is just taking us on a roller coaster right now with his love-hate relationship with Gabe. I'm worried about this. I don't mean to stir the pot, but Goose, Rhys, Laurence got on the board with guesswork in that first game, and it took him to a win. What do you guys have to say about that?
Well, I knew it was Triple H immediately. I was like, I remember watching that episode of the Drew Carey show when I was a young man, because I'm not young anymore.
I'm still a bit confused how I actually got onto this show, because I'm pretty sure I only got like maybe 1, possibly 2 questions right. So
it was a fun game, but it was a low scoring game, and you were the least low scoring. And we are going to revisit that later on in the evening. But with that, we got some Quizplex to start, and I think we should go, Spencer, from January through February to March winners. So, Laurence, that means we're going to start with you. Here is your first question of the evening. That's coming up. At what WCW pay-per-view did RoboCop rescue Sting from the Four Horsemen? Now we want the event and the year. You can answer verbally on this one, eh?
Oh, okay. I literally have 0 clue, so I'm gonna take a wild guess and just say like Halloween Havoc 97.
I'm afraid that is not the correct answer, but again, like guesswork is what brought you to the dance in the first place, man. It was a very worthy effort. We're gonna move to February's winner. Goose, do you got an answer for us on your whiteboard? Actually, no, excuse me. Rhys, you can present your answer as well.
I'm not completely sure.
Super Brawl 92 from Rhys. I'm afraid that is not the correct answer. Fall Brawl 1993. Once again, friends, I'm sorry. These are all incorrect. The answer is Capital Combat 1990.
I knew it was one of those like weird ones that they only did like once. You know, Capital Combat. Why did you need the year for that? They did it one time.
Well, I mean, you know, you got to earn your points on this show, and so we want you to go with the name there.
I should earn my points just because I watched RoboCop 3, which was terrible, and was the movie they were promoting at the time.
Laurence, we are going to move on to your second question. Kyle, Rhys, have your whiteboards ready. What band recently released a song named after WWE star Alexa Bliss?
That would be Bowling for Soup.
Bowling for Soup is absolutely correct. Laurence, you are on the board with 200 points. Wonderful. This is all right. We're getting the ball rolling now. The energy is started.
How does it go, Lauren?
Well, Kyle, we're going to get to a certain clip later.
I don't want this
on
video taken down for copyright purposes.
We appreciate the forethought there. But again, if anyone's going to be singing, Kyle, I think it's going to be you. But again, we'll get to that a little bit later on, because for now we have your questions to give to you. Your first question of the evening: which pro wrestler was a contestant on the reality game show Survivor, David versus Goliath?
I have no idea, but I'm going to assume it was Johnny Fairplay.
Johnny Fairplay. That is not the correct answer, I'm afraid. Rhys, Laurence, do you have answers on your whiteboards?
Also, I have no idea, but I know this guy has done a bit of reality TV, so I'll guess that.
Rhys says The Miz. Laurence, what do you have? You might be frozen, friend. No. Fair. Rhys was in the right ballpark with the reality show guy. It was actually the reality show guy's tag team partner, John Morrison. John Hennigan, as he was credited on Survivor.
I'm pretty sure Johnny Fairplay was on Survivor. I just don't know if it was the one that was preceded by that particular, elaboration of David versus Goliath.
Fair enough. Well, either way, Goose, you got your cheering section on. The one and only Mr. J, despite what he said in the introduction, does have someone he's rooting for, and it is you, my friend.
Right on. That's the dude that did he does all the voiceovers and stuff.
Yeah, this is Mr. J himself. Poetry of a Promo, does the intros of Quizplex as well as Power Out. He's also joining you on.
He used to be a crackhead.
What's your Sunday gimmick?
Found him on the side of the road, and now he's got the golden voice.
I think he's about to retract his support of you, but I will not speak for him on this occasion. We will move on to the next question, which is going to be:
sorry,
what % chance did Scott Steiner give himself beating Samoa Joe at Sacrifice? I will always welcome Steiner math related questions. I think we could do a whole episode on the math breakdown of that one. But Kyle, is it Kyle or Rhys? I have already lost track.
I just bombed on the Johnny Fairplay thing. So,
but you have a second question. So this one's yours.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to say it's a trick question because everybody remembers him going 33.3%. But I'm pretty sure he said 125% for himself.
Let me scroll down here. That is not the correct answer, I am afraid.
Okay. I'm just saying he did. It was not 33.3, which is what I was inclined to answer, but that's the chances he gave everyone else.
There we go. Rhys, Laurence, what do you have for us? What were your answers for Steiner math?
You know, they say all men are created equal. But But you look at me and you look at Mojo and you can see that statement is not true. See, normally when you go 1-1, I cannot remember it.
I'm going to give you all the time in the world, please.
Let me.
I'm going to go 100.
The numbers don't lie.
141 and 2/3%. Lawrence, what do you have?
Oh, I've got it. I was going to say 110.
Okay. The answer is 141 and 2/3% chance, or possibly perchance chance, depending on if you're asking Scott Steiner himself. Oh, I think we could end it.
That homeboy got the answer right, didn't he?
He did.
Solid.
Well,
no,
friends.
I'm not afraid to admit, at one point I did try to memorize the entire thing. I just kind of froze up midway there.
Rhys's cheering section is making themselves known. Ed, an absolute staple of the Twitch TV stream. Always happy to see you in the comments, friend. But with that, Rhys, we're moving on to your questions. You ready, my friend?
I'm ready.
Oh, wait, hold on. Maniac, if Goose loses, we riot. And by riot, I mean make a down duvet out of him.
Well, a lot of people do want to sleep with me.
Well done. Seamless. But we have questions. Rhys, how many times has Kane been a tag team champion?
Okay, I'm going to say 13. Although I also want to say I'm pretty sure this question came up last time.
Yeah, I think that's correct as well.
Now we've never had this situation happen before. So let's poll here. Do we want to go forward with the question? Thank you, Zach. Or do we want to do a re-roll?
I think we should do a re-roll personally. And also Rhys, I really appreciate your honesty on that one. But that was I was catching that as the question was read as well. So Spencer's going to roulette a new question for you. Sorry, Spencer, you go ahead. You put the play on. I will stop pressing buttons. There we go.
Was the answer actually 13?
I think the answer was 12, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, the answer was 12. 3 with Undertaker, 2 with Big Show. You would have had that?
I was halfway there.
Yeah.
He had a whole sundry of tag team champions, man. It was impressive stuff.
He was a wrestler for like 30 years. So
yeah,
exactly. Did he have a run with fake Razor Ramon?
No. We left it. Maybe he did, but we left. We phrased the question exclusively as like the character Kane. So like there was no controversy. Rhys, your question: what was the main event of the very last Starrcade held under the WCW banner in 2000?
Okay, so that was Steiner versus Sid. Although I've got to say, I'm pretty sure this question also came up.
Spencer, I've covered for you once. I'm not sure what I can do for you this time.
I am appearing on screen first and foremost because I want to do right by our friend Ed, who is telling everyone here to drink twice now.
He's right.
This is the second appearance.
Catching up.
And I'm also going to apologize because I thought I deleted everything in this category, and I evidently didn't. So, production role, if anybody is looking for a very low to non-paying job, I'm assuming that the producer role for next edition of Quizplex might be open, so hand in those resumes at Love Wrestling CA on Twitter.
Again, like this is a high stakes game. Like I think the pressure's getting to all of us. Let's not give Spencer too hard a time. He's doing a great job out there. But we are going to roulette for you one more question. I think that's only fair. If it's a repeat question, please just go for it. Which professional wrestler played Hime, the welfare queen Dawson, in the Netflix series Glow?
Oh, this is great because I've got no idea what this one is. So.
Well, be honest. Like, did you only get those last two because you were part of the last game?
The last one. So I actually did a review of that show, so it's kind of recent in my memory anyway. But this one I've got no idea. I'm gonna say Naomi, just because when I see Glow, I think of her, but I'm pretty sure that's not correct.
I'm afraid Naomi is not correct. We're gonna get answers from Goose and Laurence. What do you have on your papers? Awesome Kong / Karma. You have Karma as well. That is the absolute correct answer. 100 points for both of you, friends. Rhys, we're going to move on to your second official question, fourth overall. So let's see what we have for you. Spencer is playing roulette with the questions as we speak. Only 3 WWE wrestlers have won all 3 of the following: King of the Ring, Money in the Bank, and the Royal Rumble. Who were they?
Brock Lesnar.
Five more seconds.
Oh man, that's a tough one.
Gotta call it, my friend. I'm sorry. Goose, Laurence, what do you have for this one? This one takes a little problem solving. Your answers, gentlemen?
I'm gonna say Lesnar, Alberto Del Rio, and CM Punk.
I'm afraid that is not correct. Laurence, what you were saying?
I've got Brock, Edge, and I'm gonna go with The Miz. No, he never won King.
So close, so very close. The answer is, of course, Brock Lesnar, Edge, and Sheamus. Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. I like questions like that. They require a little problem solving. You handled it gracefully. Drink.
Bad wrestling puns don't just shame one person, friends. They shame us all.
That is the conclusion of round 1. Spencer, I'm going to invite you to pop back in so you can drop some tallies on us. And
happy to do it and happy to make our friends drink twice. At the conclusion of round 1, we have both Goose and Rhys tied for second with 100 points apiece, and our January champion Laurence in the lead with 100 El Pointos at the end of round 1. It's an exciting game, friends, an exciting game, and one that will continue after the break. But Zach, I'll let you lead into this one because you already were leading into her a little bit when we were talking to Goose, so I'll give you the honors, friend.
Indeed, like Goose, you want people to be singing Bowling for Soup songs, but again, you were the resident MC of your first appearance on Quizplex, and we're going to relive that moment with this short little clip that'll play us over the break. But your question, Kyle, on the WWF Aggression soundtrack, an album of wrestler theme songs reimagined by rap and hip-hop artists, who performed the rock tribute, Know Your Role?
That would be the Method Man.
Method Man is correct. Points for you. Great song, too.
Rockers come back to lay down the slack on the monkey, candy, Kobe, candy ass. Enter the squared circle with the great one. Most electrifying moves don't touch the station. Children and their children, they all dance with the millions and the millions of the Rocks fans. Get ready for a square dance. You can ass whoop it from the people's chant if you smell what the Rock is cooking.
Did you guys ever heard the story that Jordan Peele tells about Method Man? I mean, I don't want to take up too much time, but it's pretty funny.
I'm sorry for the awkward lag and how long it took me, but Kyle, you have earned yourself a $10 gift card to Pro Wrestling Tees for rapping the lyrics to Know Your Role by Method Man. 100%
Way to go,
fantastic.
Kyle.
I'm not going to tell Spencer how to spend his money, but I firmly believe that was $10 very well spent.
I'm still waiting for it. I got the prize money for the T-shirt, but I didn't get
No, that one I've got the receipt for. No, that one, my friend, is hogwash. You got $35.
No, I got $25.
No. I'll find the receipt. That'll be a social media. Now we have heat, as they say in the wrestling business.
Jeez, I knew that the championship edition of Quizplex would be high stakes.
I got
but this
hired
is
on
not.
Love Wrestling, so we're all good.
I
was able to afford a T-shirt, so I'm happy.
Yeah, Ed calls it drink twice, and I'm trying to keep up, but Spencer is making it very tricky to do so and maintain my composure as a host.
I don't apologize.
Also, check out my Ode to Gene Snitsky rap song on YouTube.
Okay, I absolutely will do that.
I'm serious. Just type in Ode to Gene Snitsky on YouTube. You'll find a rap song that I did and upload it to YouTube.
Well, I know exactly what I'm doing after this broadcast, and I hope all the viewers and all participants will be doing the same. We are going to move on to round 2. Points, it's the same gameplay, but the points have escalated in this round. What's this? Round 2, correct answers for the active player are going to be worth 200 points. Correct answers for questions stolen from the active player will be worth 100 points. Friends, are you ready for round 2? That should be a huge cry. You should be rejoicing. There should be fireworks. Yeah. Spencer's going to hate it. But yeah, let's move on to round 2. Laurence, your first question for round 2 is as follows. What is the name of the former WWE superstar AJ Mendez, better known as AJ Lee's autobiography?
It's a very good book called Crazy Is My Superpower.
Crazy Is My Superpower is also the correct answer. Well done, Laurence. We're going to move immediately to your second question. Who did Raven defeat to win his first ECW championship? Now the clock is ticking for Laurence. Less confident in his answer here.
I'll go with the franchise.
The franchise, Shane Douglas, is not the correct answer. Rhys, Goose, what do you have on your whiteboards? Got Terry Funk, and we have Sabu. I'm afraid the answer is none of the above. The answer is Sandman. Actually, Raven is a 2-time champion, and on both occasions, he defeated the Sandman for that title. Before we move on, Laurence, quick review of Crazy Is My Superpower, if you please.
Oh, truly a well-done book. Very funny. She handles... It's great for people, especially if you're struggling with mental illness. She handles it with care, explains her trials and tribulations through it. I highly recommend the book.
Awesome. I couldn't agree more, man. I read the book myself, and I just didn't want to be the one, everyone hears me yammer enough as the host, so I wanted to give the floor to someone else. But we're going to move on. Canadian Goose, your first question of the evening, of round 2 of the evening, he says. Amateur hour on my part. Your first question for round 2. Which future WWE legend played Hutch in the 1991 movie Suburban Commando?
Hulk Hogan. It was Hogan or Undertaker? Because I know Hogan was the star of the movie, but Undertaker was like a minor character.
Which one are you going for?
I'm going to go with Hogan.
Hogan is not the correct.
I don't think that Undertaker's character was named. There might be somebody else in there as well.
I'm afraid Hogan is not the correct answer. Rhys, Laurence, what have you got there?
Maybe that's who he played in the Dolly Parton video.
No, don't bring it up. Don't do it. Still having flashbacks.
I've got no idea.
I'll just go Undertaker.
I mean, Goose gave you a big clue and he left it on the table. The correct answer was indeed the Undertaker.
I thought he was like a nameless bank robber number 2.
No, He is credited as Hutch. If there was a charity mechanic to this game, I would invite.
I was frozen today.
But Goose, don't worry. You have another question for a chance to get onto the board in round 2. How many editions of the legendary WWE franchise, The Marine, have there been? Truly legendary film.
I'm going to say 6.
You're going to say 6. Unfortunately, only 6. So
only 6. Dang it.
Well phrased, Spencer. I must give you credit for that one. Took me a second. You have banked points in round 2. And with that, we're going to move on to Rhys for your set of round 2 questions. Only 3 women have held both the TNA Knockouts title and the WWE Women's title. Who is the Canadian of the 3?
Gail Kim.
I am scrolling through answers. Yes, Gail Kim is absolutely the correct answer. Well done, sir. We are going to move on to your second question. Gail Kim, what a performer, man. Who is the only wrestler to have an action figure modeled after them during their runs in WWE, WCW, ECW, and TNA? You'll notice at the bottom of the screen, we have provided a ticker for you to problem solve. You got A, Sting, B, Raven, C, Booker T, and D, Brian Pillman.
So I'm pretty sure Raven was the only one who was in all of those, so I'll go with him.
That would indeed make Raven the correct answer. Sir, well done to conclude round 2. That was a strong performing round. Spencer, I dare we ask what the tally for this round would be? Get ready to drink, friends.
Certainly better than Rhys's last appearance, although he is in second rather than his first place. However, we've got the Canadian Goose following up in third with 300 points. We've got Rhys with 500, and with a slim 100-point lead, it is our January champion, Laurence, who's taken it with 600 points thus far. 1 round to go, anybody's game. And as Mr. J declares, open season for goose hunting.
Oh boy, it is getting dramatic, but will the game end as dramatically as our most recent game back in March with in which Rhys picked up the win? Let's revisit that game. Last question of the evening. The music video for the song Headlock on My Heart saw Hulk Hogan play a wrestler named Starlight Starbright that at the end of the video marries the song's artist. Who sang the song?
I'm going to go with a very weird one of, let's just say it's Canada's own Celine Dion.
I wish. I absolutely wish, but that is not the correct answer. Foul original, Rhys on Wrestling. Last chance to answer questions here. Jimmy Hart.
I mean, it's on brand.
It would be very on brand. And frankly, so would Cyndi Lauper as for Rhys on Wrestling's answer. But man, the first thing I am doing after this broadcast is looking up this music video because the correct answer is Dolly Parton.
That makes sense, actually.
But either way, Spencer, why don't you pop on in? Let us know what the scoreboard looks like. Ah! Oh no!
I hate that.
Oh, wow, that was beautiful. No! Who won Quizplex number 3?
I mean, if we can get real here, the true winner is me. I wouldn't have had to have done anything other than show a wonderful, beautiful picture of Mr. Starlight Starbright himself. And the winner of a $25 gift certificate to Pro Wrestling Tees and the Hand Slap Jamboree winner, it's Rhys On Wrestling with 551 points and, more importantly, redemption.
Once again, friends, thank you so much for being a part of this. And I hate it so much.
Crashing down. It hurts inside.
I hope I never see that photo again.
I'm gonna check our production tools and make sure Spencer isn't ready to surprise us with it again, because I'm ready to walk again. Might happen, but I'll try to keep it cool in the meantime. But we're gonna move into round 3. Gameplay is a little bit different. Stakes are very high. Everyone has a chance to pick up the W today. Final round, 1 question per player. Correct answer for the active player is worth 500 points. Correct answer for the questions stolen from the active player are worth 250. Lots of points on the table. Lots of room for people to pick up the win. Laurence, as per all the rounds of this game, we are starting with you. Your first question, sir. What was Mae Young's real first name?
Damn it. What?
It's a tough one. It's a tough one.
I'm just going to go with May. Yeah, I'm just going to go with May. I have no idea.
I'm afraid May is not the correct answer. Goose, Rhys, what do you have for us?
I don't know what spelling to choose.
We got Johnny from Kyle.
I'm going for Margaret. I'm trying to think what could May be short for. I've got no idea.
Well, it's not a matter of what May is short for, because Kyle is indeed correct. That's going to be 250 points for Goose for getting that question. Johnny Mae Young, if I'm not mistaken. But with that, we're going to move to Kyle's make Kyle the active player and present him with his question for the evening. His final question. We all know that Ric Flair and John Cena hold the record for most world championship wins, but what tag team holds the record for most world tag team championship wins?
The Dudley Boys.
The Dudley Boys is absolutely correct. Dudley Boys / Team 3D. And with that, we're going to move to the very final question of the evening. Rhys, your question to send us off hopefully has nothing to do with Starlight Starbright. Which 2 wrestlers performed in the opening contest of the very first WCW Monday Nitro broadcast on September 4th, 1995?
Okay, I know this, but I've got to say this was on last month as well, so I can't in all good faith answer this question.
Spencer's not even
okay,
confident.
this is more like it.
Who was the first ever X Division champion?
AJ Styles?
The answer is AJ Styles. You have picked up 500 points for that correct answer. That was a very competitive game, and I think round 3 made the difference for determining our winner, and Spencer is going to pop in to confirm so.
Round 3 certainly made the difference, Zach. In fact, round 3, as per usual, has determined our winner of the Champions edition of Quizplex. Unfortunately, Laurence, as the person leading going into the final round of the game, I think that you've maybe surmised that might not have played up in your favor. Unfortunately, finishing as our 3rd place champion, we do have Laurence, but I think that's fair because he keeps kicking my ass in Among Us, so we'll call her square. In 2nd place, separated only by 50 points in the championship edition of Quizplex. Yes, only 50 points. We have Rhys On Wrestling finishing as our second champion, which means the Canadian Goose, honk, 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 is your Quizplex champion of champions and the winner of a $50 Pro Wrestling Tees gift card. Goose, as I bring up the link to your Pro Wrestling Tees gift card, speech!
I'm very, very happy. I'm going to be able to afford the other t-shirt design I have on Pro Wrestling Tees. Right now I got this one. It was designed by Cameron Stevens, a wrestler out of Newfoundland. Any other wrestlers looking to have designs made, hit him up. He'll hook you up Also, Rad Pencils did the other design. I wear that one frequently, but those T-shirts are actually made by a lady locally because T-shirts on Pro Wrestling Tees are kind of expensive. So I'm glad I just won $50 so that I can order one. And they're only expensive because I live in Canada. If I was in the States, it wouldn't be so bad.
An endorsement for Pro Wrestling Tees and certainly an indictment of the shipping costs of professional wrestling merch. But most importantly,
more expensive than the shirts themselves.
I don't disagree, but I do 100% agree with Mr. J, as he is a fan of the show. The real winners, I would like to think, are the fans, because not only did I get to produce a very fun quiz show with a lot of great friends, but you guys got to watch a lot of great people do their thing and share their knowledge, whether it be Zach, who is the quiz master extraordinaire, or, of course, our 3 Quizplex champions. Zach, we do have some individuals to raid, but, of course, I'll step out as producer because, you know, if I get to pop back into the stream, that's another drink for everybody else. So I'll let everybody plug their stuff. And then if you guys are watching on Twitch in about 5 minutes time, we've not only got a channel to raid, but an exciting new project coming your way from Love Wrestling. So stick around for about the next 5 minutes. You're going to find out where to follow some great people in pro wrestling. And then you've got some latest and greatest stuff from Love Wrestling.
Absolutely. Let me get my shit in first because I'll do it very quickly. I am the host of Power Out on Tuesdays. This is our live reaction to all things National Wrestling Alliance, shortly following NXT, because I don't want to split the audience. I'm benevolent like that. I also, of course, host Quizplex, and I am the host of the Smark and Friends podcast on Two Finger Guns Club Network. With that, Laurence, what do you got for us, friend?
You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at CartierNDG.
Beauty. And Rhys, where can the good people follow you?
So twitch.tv and YouTube, Rhys On Wrestling. That's RHYS, like you see in this little there.
That's hard. That's really hard. Why is it so hard? And well, Goose, you already got your
stage left, right?
Exactly. And then and like the cameras were reversing it. It's just warping my mind, man. Goose, you already had the floor, but you are the champion. You have earned the right to step on one more time and stand on your soapbox. One more honk honk for the people.
Honk honk honk. Again, yeah, you can find me over at Canadian Goose KS on Twitter, Kyle Shaw on Facebook, the.canadian.goose on the Instagram there. I got Monday Night Shaw, my podcast, dropping this coming Monday with Steven Styles, who's always opinionated, and the guy that edits my podcast does not like it when I interview him, but I got an interview coming out with him. He's going to be making a big announcement about the main event of the Real Canadian Wrestling show happening in Radway on May the 29th. Also, I want to plug the RCW Uprising. It's going to be airing this Saturday, and I wrestled on the show, so fun times.
Beauty. Once again, friends, thank you so much for being.
And make sure you check out my my Gene Snitsky rap on YouTube. Ode to Gene Snitsky.
I knew you would get to the important stuff eventually.
Appointment viewing, absolutely. But Spencer, I'm glad you popped back in. You mentioned some products that people might want to consider investing in.
Yes, 110%. Now, if you choose to invest monetarily, that's always encouraged. But immediately following the conclusion of Quizplex tonight, we are going to be rating a brand new channel. And when I say brand new, I mean brand new as of today. We've got our good friends of the Love Wrestling channel, our friends Chris Parrish, who you guys have seen on the POS show, and of course JPJ, the co-host of The War Report. They're covering off some NFL draft coverage over on Love Sports CA. So for those of you who don't just love professional wrestling, love hockey, you love cricket, you love basketball, baseball, and of course the NFL, as evidenced by the inaugural stream tonight, we're going to be rating them in about 30 seconds time here. Of course, I got to give a quick shout out to Rhys On Wrestling. Not only is he handsome, but he's great with his emotes on Twitch. That is a happy looking individual right there. And I stand by that happy looking man. I completely agree, Ed, too. It's going to be very fun to see who's on next month, because maybe, and we've still got to kick around some ideas between Zach and I, we may do a Super Champions edition at some point, but next month, the last Thursday of every month, we have a brand new rotating cast of characters who are going to be testing their knowledge right here on Love Wrestling CA. If you guys are on Twitch, well, then you know where you are already, but twitch.tv/Love Wrestling CA is where you can find us on Twitch. Of course, if you're on YouTube, head to /Love Wrestling CA, and not only will you get great live content, but put myself over a little bit. In the next week, you're going to get a live interview with Nick Aldis. It's going to be a blast. It was a blast for me. So you guys are going to get that in the next week there. And of course, if you want to support Love Wrestling and show it to the public, lovewrestling.ca/shop. There's some great stuff there. You want to head there. We've got some great shirts, some stickers, some other great merchandise coming up, but that's then. This is now. We are going to be heading over right meow. I am hitting the start raid button. So if you friends are tuned in over on the Twitch side of things, stay here for about another 10 seconds. If you guys are on Facebook and YouTube, thank you once again for tuning in. If you want to head over to Twitch and join us in our raid, feel more than encouraged. But if you don't, you are going to hear the dulcet tones of Mr. J. Thank you, guys. I speak for Rhys. I speak for Laurence. I speak for Goose. And of course, our Quizmaster extraordinaire, Zach. Thanks for tuning in to Quizplex. We'll see you next month.
Ladies and gentlemen, the points have been tallied. The winners have been announced. The losers have been sent packing. And I am still, as ever, Mr. J, better